And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is going to be a brief review or overview of the new BB-8 that is coming in. Yes, he's pretty cute. We want to go over his attacks, his abilities, all that kind of stuff, so you can kind of get the lowdown. Now, a couple of fair warnings. One, this is not me playing the game, so if you're upset at all watching this footage of how he was played, I apologize in advance. This is just footage that was provided the Game Changers. There's a number of us that are going to have the same footage, so the only reason why you'd watch my video over someone else's is because you want to watch or listen to my corny voice. All right, so BB-8, also this video could be subject to change because this is B-roll footage. That's right, B-roll footage. So BB-8 is going to be a persistent resistance droid, so he's going to have synergy with two basic factions, droids and resistance, and he's going to empower them by circulating secret intel. Now, secret intel is pretty cool because it's going to give them additional potency and it's going to reduce his cooldown on one of his specials. So pretty cool. We're going to go over those in a minute. He has two uniques that are going to be in play while he's in there. He's going to have two specials, and then he's also going to have one basic. Welder, and Arc Welder is going to deal physical damage to a target enemy and inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. Tenacity down isn't a huge deal, however, it can be paired with a couple of different scenarios. One of which is if they already have tenacity down, they're then going to get dazed for 2 turns, and we know daze is one of the best abilities in the game. So that way you can, prevent them from countering and whatnot. So this is pretty cool. It's a little bit of a counter meta, daze is. The other thing is if they have tenacity down, if somebody else comes after the fact, like R2-D2, they're going to pretty much get a guaranteed whatever debuff they're trying to do, such as the exposes or a stun or anything like that. Now, his first special attack is called Covert Data Transfer. Basically, he's going to give a random ally who doesn't have it secret intel unique buff for 3 turns. And then he's going to get 8% turn meter for every ally that has it. So with 5 allies, on a basic attack, or in PvE you could have up to 6 potentially, he's going to get the 8 turn meter per ally that has that buff, the one he gives it to plus all of the others, and the others will gain this buff automatically through using their special abilities. So pretty cool. Also, if he's running with droids, and he is kind of a droid specialist, BB-8 will then gain taunt for 1 turn every time he uses this special ability. They call it a special attack, but really it's not. Now, with secret intel, the actual buff that's over their head that looks a bit like, they will get 25% potency, and whenever another ally uses a special ability, that individual who uses a special ability will then gain that secret intel themselves for 3 turns. And then the cooldown of Illuminated Destiny, the second ability, is going to be reduced by 1 for every single ally that has that secret intel buff. Now, the special ability that we just talked about, Illuminated Destiny, what it's going to do once it goes through its 70 turn cooldown is it's going to dispel all debuffs on your allies. So it's going to cleanse the entire team, and it's going to expose the opposite team for 2 full turns. So you're going to expose everyone. This is going to be pretty synergistic with the resistance, especially in PvE. Specifically, we're talking territory battles and or the raids. Now, all allies are going to gain 80% turn meter, so that's almost everybody gaining a whole nother turn. That's pretty amazing. They'll also gain advantage, critical chance up, critical damage up, speed up, and offense up for 4 turns. Those are crazy that they gain those 4 buffs. Also, droid and resistance allies will recover 20% protection. Now, this Illuminated Destiny, to put it into perspective, may never happen in a PvP environment. It might, if you're lucky, happen once, and it basically gives your whole turn the ability to just create massive damage and get an extra turn. So a pretty cool ability. This ability will start on cooldown, and it can't be evaded, which means it's going to have a 70 turn cooldown. So this ability starts on cooldown and can't be evaded. Whenever a droid ally scores a critical hit, so this is a little bit more synergy with droid specific, you're going to reduce that cooldown by 1. Now, it's going to be reduced automatically by everybody who has that buff over their head, that little secret intel over their head. The only thing about secret intel I find a little bit frustrating is it is dispellable. So they can get it and then lose it, which kind of sucks. It should be indispellable if you ask me. Now, with his uniques, he's got a couple uniques. One is called Roll with the Punches. BB-8 has an 80% counter chance. So that's pretty cool because that's that tenacity down and or daze that he's going to be doing on his basic. When BB-8 attacks out of turn, he'll also call a random ally to assist, and that ally will be a resistance ally. So if you're running him with resistance, you're going to get one of them to respond. If you're running him with droids, the only individual that would be able to respond would be if you're running R2-D2, because he's both droid and resistance as well. So that would put tenacity down by BB-8, and then call R2-D2's basic, which would stun, because tenacity down would be applied first. So this is a pretty cool combination with his ability to counter almost all of the time, and then calling that resistance ally to assist. So his unique ability is called the second one is called Self-Preservation Protocol, and when BB-8 takes damage, he has a 50% chance to gain foresight for 2 turns. Kind of a protectionism to make sure that he sticks around a little bit longer. At the start of each encounter, if BB-8 is active, droid allies will gain 8% turn meter for each active droid ally. So what's really cool about this is if you run him with other droids, it's going to be a massive turn meter boost for all droids right off the get. If you look there, you saw that. It's pretty amazing. So I'm pretty excited about running him with droids because they can make a droid team pretty fast. The only downside is, of course, droids rely on critical hits, and right now Barriss Offee would probably shut down a droid team. So there's a thought there. Now, whenever BB-8 evades, droid allies are going to recover 8% health and 8% protection, and he's potentially going to be evading a lot because of the foresight that he has, although there are now abilities in the meta that can hit right through foresight, such as Han Solo. So it sounds amazing, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Now, basic strategies are going to be using that covert data as soon as you can to get that little icon over his head, the icon that looks a bit weird. And that's going to be key because the more you get those out, the faster you'll be able to use Illuminated Destiny, which is that huge, buff that gives him 4 buffs plus an extra turn, basically. Stacking up crit chance on him is also good through his mods because it's going to reduce the cooldown on Illuminated Destiny, especially against teams that use AoE attacks. So of course we talked already about hero synergies, but BB-8's going to be able to call R2 to assist, just like I mentioned, if you run him in a droid team and use R2 as well. So that's pretty cool, and it's a nice little combo with him using the electroshock prod. It's almost a guaranteed stun. And then also if you're using in a resistance team, you can use that Illuminated Destiny under Finn's lead to result in lots of exposes and additional turn meter to obviously get the resistance going even faster than they already do. R2-D2 and BB-8 can form a foundation of a new droid team led by HK-47. Not sure, again, if this would even be sort of arena viable because it's completely critical chance and critical damage reliant, and we know that Barriss Offee is definitely crazy right now. So where to use him? Basically, you're going to use him in PvE, player versus environment, territory battles. You're also going to use him in the raids. You're probably going to be putting him in with the resistance to try him out there. You'll probably also want to try him out with a droid team, potentially in Phase 2 if you have a droid team in Phase 2, which is a little bit outdated, but it is something that some people still run to this day. So he is going to be a cool addition. So basically, the end of this, I'm just going to give you my impression. He's cute. I think he's going to be fun. I believe that he's one of those characters that eventually at some point you'll want because of PvE, kind of like the clones or resistance. You eventually want to farm them. But at the end of the day, if you don't have him immediately, I wouldn't stress about it. It's not going to be a meta changer. I don't think it's going to infuse, new life into the droids or resistance in a significant way. So my overall impression is that he's cool, he's nice, he's going to be a great addition to the player versus environments that we have out there. But overall, if you're looking for something that's going to completely change or give you the new life in your droids for arena, I wouldn't be looking at him for that capability. Again, sorry that the footage did not include the Illuminated Destiny ability. I was hoping that they would have included that, but that's all right. We will see it soon enough. I am sure he's coming out right around the corner. We should be hearing about how he's unlockable and whatnot very, very soon. So I really hope this helps give you just a basic rundown of who he is and how he works. As always, make sure you keep your gaming on. Warrior, out.
I want you to show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me, 'cause I know then you'll see we can be true, we can be true. I want you to see what I see in us, something so real, something so real. I want you to see that this is a lie.